I'm Michael Coos with Russ LeCate. We are two Mets on the mic. Russ, interesting pattern setting up. We don't see it not just this time of year, but really much at all any time of year where you get a strong low pressure system punching out of basically right along the divide, eastern Washington, Idaho, moving up into Alberta, Saskatchewan, bringing lots of moisture. Most of these systems come more directly from the west. They
Yeah.
lose their energy in the Rocky Mountains, and they don't get that much precipitation on the other side of the divide.
And the pattern, it's sort of locked in. It's almost semi-stationary. I mean, that low that was in the Gulf of Alaska at this time yesterday, it's migrated down on top of Haida Gwaii right now. So it's closing in on the BC central coast. The low you talked about, which sort of came out of northern central California, moved through parts of Oregon. It's wobbling around in central Idaho right now. And the two lows are squeezing together and getting rid of the high pressure ridge that was directly overhead of the lower mainland. So all the clouds are here now. But that semi-stationary pattern, boy, there's a lot of moisture wrapped up in that Idaho low, and it is impacting the southeast corner of BC. There's rain in the Kootenay forecast, but also where you used to call home, parts of Alberta expect to get really wet.
Yeah, and that's interesting. When you get 2, 3 days in a row where it's raining, it's not that common, and we will be affected by that system. You mentioned it with the Haida Gwaii low, really weak one. We're trapped between these two weather makers. We don't get a lot of precipitation, but there will be a lingering trough across the south coast, bringing us a couple of days of cloud cover.
Yeah, I think it's a little cooler than what we've experienced, and the chance of showers is in the forecast. Not a whole lot of measurable rainfall around here, but it'll be interesting a few days from now to see how much rain is in the rain gauge in areas like Calgary or Pincher Creek.
Yeah, and we're always thinking about, oh, they need rain for the crops. Well, this time of year, they're just getting the crops in. That's always a big story on the prairies. They don't want the moisture because you can't get out in the fields then.
Well, that's an interesting perspective. It's something I wouldn't have known about, so it's always good to kind of stay up to speed on these, seasonal alterations to the weather pattern. Michael's live all afternoon on News 1130, every 10 minutes on the ones.